Hey everyone, how's it going? What is up? It is me, Windstucker, and today I want to talk about two things. First thing is Ubuntu 14 point, I think it's 04, which is their server, the newest version of their server. And I want to talk about a machine I got at Walmart, which is an Acer Aspire. I think is how you pronounce it, Aspire. And I got it at Wally World for $100, and I know why nobody wanted to buy it, and it sat on the shelf for freaking, well, Walmart said it was on the shelf 3 to 4 years, but I can see why, because it ran Vista, and nobody likes Vista. And the nice thing about it is it has a 160 gigabyte hard drive. That is pretty sweet. And it has an AMD Sempron, or Sempron, how you pronounce that, which I think is the equivalent to a Pentium 4. I don't know much about AMD. I've always stick with Pentiums. And it was, I guess, a 3400 plus. That doesn't sound too bad to me. It has a 9-in-1 card reader, which is pretty sweet. Which I took Vista off of this machine and redone it for Ubuntu, and I'm currently using it as a home server. And here's the catch: it has a dual DVD drive, which is pretty sweet. And there's an Apple Sam Tony 180 Unity Sam, I believe that's an S. My writing is horrible. 340B as in Bob. And it's running Vista Basic, which I've heard very bad things about just the basic. But here's the reason why I think most people didn't want to buy it. It's because it has 512 megabytes of RAM. And it's DDR2, and well, they just say it has 512, and nobody wants a computer with 512 memory in it. I don't know exactly how Walmart was getting away with selling that thing for, like, I think it was like $400, $500, $600. And my wife and I went into Walmart and saw it, and it was marked down real good. And I asked the dude, what's the deal with that? And he's like, oh, we can't get rid of it. I was like, can you knock any more off? And he's like, my manager said we can knock it down to $100. And I was like, okay, sold. And yes, I know it's crappy. It's not going to be the best server in the world, but considering I'm new to servers and haven't had much experience with them, this has been a very interesting and good experience. The setting up of the Ubuntu server 14.04 wasn't hard. It has a lot of prompts, and I've only, heard people talk about the setup of Windows servers, and instead of having drop down menus and check this, check that, you have more stuff to fill in. Like you have to, type in the host name. You have to, if you're doing MyQL, or how you say that, QRL or QSL, my squirrel, I don't know. You have to have a thing that I mean, it isn't as easy as Microsoft makes it. Of course, when you're translating from Microsoft to Mac to offshoot of Linux, things are going to be different. I don't know if there is Mac servers. I'm assuming that there is. I don't know. I would, it's different. I mean, I've tried running a Mac laptop, a MacBook Pro I think it was, for a year. Didn't like it. I just couldn't get used to the Mac OS. Maybe with a little bit more time and somebody had guided me more through it, I might have liked it better. But you know, I've been with Windows since pretty much the beginning. Those friends had Windows, and Windows seems, even though Windows have problems, I admit it. I mean, look at Vista. And Millennium are the two big ones that I didn't like. I'm sure Windows 7 had its problems. I have Windows 8, and it has a few problems, but not as bad as Vista. And I can't wait for Windows 10 to come out. I'm excited. It's coming out July 29th. Hopefully it will be the best of both worlds like they're claiming, and everything that they say it would. And I'm wondering if they're going to come out with a special server version for this. I doubt it. I mean, I think their latest, greatest version is like Windows Server 2011. They might have a 2014. I don't know. I don't know how often they update their stuff. It may be as often after they update their OSs. Of course, going from 8.1 to 10 when it finished such a short time kind of makes me wonder. But anyway, and just in case, you know, my friends are watching this, downloading Ubuntu server isn't hard. You just type in Ubuntu and it brings you to a website, and you can select server or desktop. The environment, I don't know what the new one is, but the old one I have, which I think is either 12 or 13, for the most part, felt like a Windows or a Mac experience when you're actually in the desktop itself. And I mean, there are times you're going to have to go to the C prompt and force it to do stuff. Like there's certain installs that even if you go to the installer, it won't do it. You have to, you know, learn the language to get it to install that stuff. There's a few other things you have to do through C prompt to get it to work well, and all this other stuff. And it's a little aggravating to set up, but once you get it set up, I mean, I like, you know, Ubuntu. I mean, if I ever find another piece of crap computer and don't turn it into a server, of course I have this one right now. This one currently is a file server where I'm dumping stuff on it that I don't want on my computer. And if I get one and don't, you know, turn it into Linux or Ubuntu desktop, I'm probably gonna turn it into another server. And I think I'm gonna make the second one a streaming server. Of course, I may turn around and make this into a streaming. I haven't decided yet. Depends on how cheap I can find hard drives and everything, because I want to install more 160 gigs in there. I think there's 3 or 4 bays. We might have to increase the power supply for that. But anyway, and I'm thinking if I can find one cheap enough, I may format the hard drive and slap the I can't speak now, the Ubuntu server onto an SSD. I have an SSD for my Windows machine. I like it. It really does seem to boot fast, and I know that they haven't been out as long as the HDDs, the hard disk. I haven't had any problem with it. It seems to boot a lot faster, a lot smoother. Of course, it would probably help if I got rid of some of those useless stuff that was on it. It seems to boot faster, and that's why I'm considering putting the Linux OS on it, which I think, well, the last install I did, I put like almost 10 gigs of partition on it, so it has plenty of room. But I like to get another one. I think the one in my computer right now is either 150 or 250. It's the biggest size I've seen when I was getting it. And I like to get one of those. And I know it's probably overkill, but I prefer overkill. Put that on there, put the Ubuntu on there, and then have the other hard drives for nothing but storage. That's what I really want to do. I have had some issues with Ubuntu, and I don't think it has anything to actually do, because even with my last version of 12 or 13, I can't remember, I had some issues where, you know, I did the I think it's SHH or something, and then the next one down, and that one made it crash. I don't know if that's a normal thing or not, but the lamp in the web server thing worked fine, which I'm kind of eager to get in there and see about setting up a web folder, that or website thing. That would be kind of cool. But this is just my experimental machine to experiment with. I do plan on eventually saving up and getting a bare bones machine from, I think most of my parts for this machine came from Newegg. Of course, I also did do price comparison and everything, so it came from other companies other than Newegg, but I think the majority of it came from Newegg. I'm thinking that I'm going to do the SDD again, because I really do like that. That's freaking awesome. I may get a couple, I may do like I did on this one and get like a 2 terabyte and put them in the trays, depending on how many trays it is. Because I definitely like the terabytes. I have a 1 terabyte at my parents' house that I never did fill up, and it's just sitting there laughing at me. And then I have a 2 terabyte in this machine that is supposed to be for gaming, that's been used for video files and all that other stuff, and it's laughing at me. I mean, it's like, that's all you got? So I definitely like the terabytes. The 80 gig seemed like I filled it up in a couple of days, and that's with machine backups and stuff, which is something I'm interested in doing, is doing machine backups for me and the Weiss machine, so that if anything ever does happen, all our data is there and we can just reinstall everything and be good. That's something I'm interested in, and that's why I'm experimenting with this experimental machine, and it's made out of an old desktop, which I realize it doesn't have the fail safes and the ease of coming back. If it goes down, it will have the potential to, you know, if it crashes, it could be a pain in the butt to re-up. That's why I'm not deleting anything. Well, I might delete the videos, but the videos aren't really no big loss. The pictures that I have, I really don't want to lose, because, I mean, but if I do, I do. I mean, it'll make me sad, but it's not like you can't, I mean, in a way they're replaceable, but in a way they're not. And some of them are from things that went around text messages for a while there, so I'm not really worried about them. So, I did something in Vim. I don't know exactly what I did. I was following the directions because I was watching YouTube videos on this. I followed the directions, and all of a sudden something happened, and I think it was right around when the dude said refresh your thing, and Vim doesn't work right anymore. It just shows a bunch of blue lines down the side and doesn't show all that information, and even when I go back in there, it doesn't tell me squat. So I think I really screwed up Vim. Of course, I am thinking about eventually formatting the hard drive and starting over anyway. And I don't know if that's going to fix it or not, but either way, whatever. This other dude I was watching, though, said instead of refreshing, you should probably just go ahead and reboot, and it won't cause errors. And I'm thinking to myself, gee, where were you when I was trying to set this up to begin with? I probably wouldn't have the issue I have now, where it's just a bunch of blue lines on the side, and nothing in Vim works right. Because I've heard there's other editors that you can do stuff in, and I may check them out and see if I can get some stuff fixed. I don't know. Because I was trying to set up a static IP so that I can always find the server whenever I needed it, which is interesting. I need to get another Ethernet cord, because right now I'm using the Ethernet cord for my Xbox 360, and even though I have the wireless adapter, I don't like that wireless adapter, because that wireless adapter seems to take a dump too much. And it really drives me crazy, because it tells me these BS things. Oh, can't connect because of failure. But it's like, ever since I hardlined it, I have had less and less and less of that. And of course, it's a lot faster. Of course, I think that's the difference between Wi-Fi and Ethernet anyway. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm playing around with experimenting with a hard drive server. Seeing how it works. I'm uploading a crap ton of stuff onto it. I probably used up a good bit of the 160 hard drive, which almost 10 gigs was used, so it's about 150 to it. And upload speed from this machine to the server actually doesn't seem that bad. Of course, it is all running through Ethernet. I'm kind of eager to get on my wife's computer and send some stuff through the internet to the server, see what it does. I think on this one particular file, I'm getting 10.8 MIBs. So I don't think that's too terribly bad. It's probably not great, but it's what I'm getting, and it's satisfying to me, because I mean, smaller files, of course, are just slamming through. It's just pop, 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 pop. I mean, it's just flickering like crazy. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, I think I rambled on enough. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.